What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Christian Witch Podcast. I'm your host, Chosen, also known as at ChristianWitchHTX, over on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And you can find me on Twitter at ChristianWitchX. Go follow me, say hello. I'm a certified professional psychic medium, and I own an academy called the Elysium Academy of Mystical Arts, where I train people in witchcraft, healing, and psychic development. I'm so excited to be doing episode 2 of season 2. Like, this is so much fun. I wanted to do this article I found. I just thought it would be fun. It's called, I don't know what it's actually called, 16 Witchy Questions. And I believe there was like videos going around on YouTube a while back, like the witchy tag. I don't know. I don't even know, you guys. I just found it and I was like, this is so cute. Let's do it. Yeah, so speaking of YouTube, go follow me on YouTube. I'm desperately trying to get better and make more videos. So it's at ChristianWitchHTX there as well. And just to save time, I know a lot of people have been asking, yes, you can book a reading with me. I do readings internationally, virtually, via video or phone call. Everything is private, and you can book that at my booking link, which you can find in the description or on any of my social media. You can also just go to Solo.to/ChristianWitchHTX. That's SOLO.to/ChristianWitchHTX. It's kind of like a link tree, but a little bit fancier. So yeah, you can just hit book a reading, or you can just go straight to the site at calendly.com/ChristianWitchHTX. And I look forward to meeting some of you. But um, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm so curious. I didn't read through these questions, so we're just gonna go do this blind, you guys. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's do it. Okay, so let's just read what it says. I love watching tag videos and Q&As. They're a great way to get to know someone. I hope you enjoy them too. Oh my God, same. So yeah, let's get to know each other. I don't think we've done that. Like, I think a lot of the messages I get, people are asking me a little bit about myself. And so I guess here's your official way to know some random things about me that are witchy. So yeah, it says the first one. Oh, this is funny. Do you have a witchy name? How did you come by it? I actually did make a YouTube video on this. So you can find that video in that link I gave you a minute ago, Solo.to/ChristianWitchHTX, or on my YouTube channel at ChristianWitchHTX. And it's called How I Got My Name. And my witchy name is Chosen. Um, I actually, Spirit gave it to me a little over, I don't even know if it's been over 10 years. It's about 10 years ago. And I give the whole story there, but long story short, um, we were doing an exercise in a ministry training where we were, scripture talks about, God calling you by a new name. And just as an exercise, they were like, ask God what your new name is or what they call you by. And I've always related to Spirit the closest. And so I was just like, Spirit, like, what do you call me? And at the time, I was dealing with some self worth issues. And I heard Chosen and I was like, oh my God, like I'm clearly making this up. This isn't real. Like I must be so narcissistic and egotistical. Like I just started beating myself up and I just got discouraged and I was like, this is ridiculous because, like it's just dumb. Like I know how it sounded. And then about 5 minutes later, we did another exercise and someone I didn't know who was nowhere near me, I didn't tell anybody about my experience. I just stayed quiet. Um, we were to give we were to do an exercise where we told somebody one word that Holy Spirit wanted them to know. And this girl, it was our first time doing it. They counted out. They were like 3, 2, 1, and she goes, "Chosen." And I was like, "Oh my God!" And she was so matter of fact about it. Like she snapped her finger, pointed at me, and I was like, "Wow, I guess that's it." And so there's times where yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna dive into it. The story's on my on my channel, but yeah, that's my name and that's how I got it. Spirit gave it to me. Um, so question number 2, where are you located? What brought you to that area? Or were you born there? So I'm in Houston, Texas. Actually, I'm from the east side of Houston, and I was born here. I was actually born across the street from NASA Space Center. Um, so that's cool, I guess. And yeah, I was born here, and I love it. And I've traveled a lot, but there's no place like Houston. this is question three, by the way. Do you wear a special amulet or jewelry for spell work? For spell work. So, anytime I'm doing anything mystical or magical, I typically have on my Aqua Aura Quartz pendant. I haven't necessarily consecrated it or charged it as an amulet, but it is a necklace and it's a crystal and it has healing properties and, you know, magic to it. So, I guess that counts. Number four, what is your favorite space or place? Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I'm bad at selecting just like one thing. Um, I don't know, like I have to I always just like I have to do more. Um, I don't know, like I just can't limit it. Like if people are like, "Who's your favorite artist?" or "What's your favorite song?" I'm like, "Oh, I get away with like just saying this is the one that I'm been obsessed with today or whatever, or like these are my top few right now." So I guess that's what I'm going to do here is my point. My favorite space or place. I love being at home, but I also love being at the park. I love being in nature. I love metaphysical stores. um, I really do like nature. I like walking in the woods or whatever it may be. um, and um, I also like I've traveled, so I don't know if that counts. I really love Italy. I love Europe. Uh, it's just I don't know. I like different places. And I recently went to Salem for the first time, and that was phenomenal, and I loved it there. So this is a hard question, you guys. So yeah, that's my answer. I'm refusing to pick one. But question number five: what is your favorite stone or crystal for magical workings? Interesting. So I'm going to give you my top few favorites. First being Aqua Aura Quartz. It's one of my absolute favorites. I need to make some TikToks on it, or I actually have a list of crystals that I love that I was going to make TikToks on, but life got in the way. So I'm going to be doing that soon. But Aqua Aura Quartz is clear quartz that's been heat treated in a vacuum with with pure gold or pure titanium, depending on like what they use in that batch. And it actually transforms the stone, and it's one of the only stones that's been treated by scientific means that still has healing, metaphysical, mystical properties to it. um, and actually like transforms and has them. So when I first found that stone, it was the first crystal I was actually into. I never thought I would be into crystals, and I saw the pendant that I was talking about earlier at a store here in Houston, and actually it was out in Galveston, and I was like, I have to have that. I don't know why. I just knew that I had to have it, and I obviously have been doing the empathic psychic medium stuff for about 10 years now. So like I knew when to listen to my instinct, or I guess my intuition, I should say. And I was like, okay, I'm getting it. And it turns out it's exactly what I needed. I'm not going to give you the whole rundown here, but it was healing for all the things that I had issues with. And it also brings about qualities that I need in my life on a daily basis for, my life's path. So I like Aqua Aura Quartz, and then Black Tourmaline, which is phenomenal. And I do have a video on that one on my TikTok and Instagram, so you can go check that out. And Selenite, or what is actually more like Satin Spar. So it's not exactly Selenite that we're getting sold, but they're very similar and they do similar things. But those are my faves. I also like ametrine and kyanite and seraphonite. Um, Amazon, I always say it wrong. Amazonite or Amazonite. I don't know. Um, those are some of my faves. So, all right. How long, or this is question six. How long have you been practicing, and how did you come to this path? Interesting. I've been practicing, um, I guess officially. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Um, Officially, I've been practicing, I don't know, I guess like really yeah, again, the last 10 years or so. Um, I've always been drawn to it, always been interested in looking, and the way I came to it, like I was drawn to it. I always knew there was more. I always knew I was meant to do this kind of work, and I really felt like I was just led here. Like my life just led me here. So yeah. Question 7, do you have a deity, god, or goddess, and how did you connect with them? So I relate mostly to spirit as the divine feminine, and with Jesus, the divine incarnate, and the creator, who I also see as a divine masculine father type energy. Um, and how did I connect with them? I was raised Christian, and I've always been the type of person that just refines beliefs. I'm like, okay, what's man made? What's a bunch of BS? Like, what's authentic? What's, and I base everything off of experiential knowledge. So, what's been my experience? What does my discernment say rings true? Things like that. So, I've had many of experiences with Holy Spirit and Jesus and God, but um, I was kind of always connected to them just by default. Um, so yeah. Question 8. What is your favorite incense or smudge? I love to smudge with incense. Um, but well, I say smudge as like a verb. I mean like cleanse. Anyways, my point is incense. I love cinnamon. I got an apple cinnamon recently. And then I also love frankincense. I typically stick with those. Alrighty. Question number 9. Have you had to clear a space of a negative entity? Oh, yeah. So I'm trained in deliverance ministry, aka exorcisms. And yeah, I cleanse all the time. I cleanse myself, I cleanse my house, I cleanse hotel rooms, I cleanse atmospheres and like places I'm in. If like the energy feels off, I do it psychically, energetically. Um, yeah, I do it all the time. It's specifically asking of entities. Yeah, I believe that intelligent, lower vibrational energies are entities. So I've definitely had to clear spaces before. Number 10. What is your favorite witchy show or movie? Charmed, duh, hands down. But I also really love Buffy. And you guys, I gave in and watched the new Charmed too. And it got canceled finally. As I finally fell in love with it, it got canceled. I was so mad. Um, so yeah, Charmed is my favorite. I love Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina as well. I like pretty much any show that's witchy and not like extremely cheesy. So, number 11. What do you do to help raise energy before spell work? I cleanse, I get grounded and rooted. Um, so when we ground, we're actually establishing a energy connection to something external. It's not just calming down. It's like actually tapping into energy that's outside of yourself. So that's how I typically raise energy. I get grounded and I allow it to fill me. I also will either pull down energy. I just make sure that I'm balanced and good to go. Um, I also, well, I'm not going to get into like a course of mystical energy raising right now, but that's an easy, basic way for me to say that. Number 12. Do you see yourself helping others magically? Yeah, I do. I do all the time. So I very much believe that if something is not for the highest good, harming none, it won't happen. So especially if like, you make that your intention. So like if I'm sending someone healing, I personally don't subscribe to the belief that you have to ask someone to send them healing, because if it's not for their highest good and it's not going to harm them, then you know it's not gonna happen unless it's meant to. There's always going to be a higher, like, I don't know, like will that is going to be enacted in certain situations. So, like, if someone's not meant to be healed immediately, they may not have a miraculous healing. But I also believe that we have access to those things. And so, why not try? So, yeah, I help people all the time through readings and energy healing, Reiki, whatever it may be, magical, spell work. I do a bunch of stuff. Number 13, what is your preferred form of divination? I just channel most of the time. I just channel, but I love a pendulum. I don't know what it is. I love it. I'm also, um, I do tarot intuitively, and yeah, that's what I do with my life. So I kind of just use my mediumship abilities most of the time. Okay, number 14. What element do you work with the most? So I'm pretty balanced, but have an affinity for the element of air and spirit. Um, but by all means, like I try to remain balanced. Obviously, I'm close with water and fire and earth as well. But I typically like if I need like a boost of energy or like a refreshing, um, I don't know, I guess that's the same thing, a refreshing boost of energy. I typically will call on air and ask for that boost. But yeah, number 15. If you threw a party, which of the YouTube witches would you invite? Ooh, that's a good one. Can I do TikTok witches too? I'm going to do TikTok witches too. I would invite Epiphany James, the Worthy Witch. I would invite Lux from Intuitive Therapy by Lux. I would invite Sarah. I always say her name wrong. Rozavine. I always get it wrong, but she is the Slovenian witch, Christian witch on TikTok. And I would also be really interested to like the Witch of Wonderlust, Olivia. Who else? My mind's going blank all of a sudden. Um, J. Allen Cross would be really interesting. I don't know if he's really on YouTube as much as he is just like an author and has a podcast. But I would be interested in like speaking with them. Who else? I would love. I mean, she only did a few videos, but Lori Cabot would be amazing. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good amount of people, right? I feel like it is. I'm really like I know there's people I'm gonna regret not saying. Hold on. Who? Hold on. I'm gonna pull up my list. 1 second here. Oh my God. I cannot believe I almost forgot these people. Sorry, I put you guys on pause for a second. So, Ivy the Occultist, love her videos. Thorn Mooney, I would love to just hang out with, listen to like any wisdom or, her story. I don't know. Like, I just love to spend some time with her and just, get to know her a little bit. Ginny Metherill, love her. Who else here? Alvine Green, and I think it would also be really cool if what's her name again? Her channel is called Hoodoo Delish. I would love to. Is it Amy? I don't know. It may not be. It may not be. But I would love to have like a moment with her as well. And then, of course, my friend Delora Dabbles from YouTube. She's awesome. By the way, if some of these people don't, identify as witches, I'm just roping them into like the mystical, magical world. And then, of course, my friend Amy Mullane, who was wonderful, and Hearth from Hearth Witch. I think that's her channel name. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I think that's totally a good list of people. I would love to like have a party, a dinner party where we just like hang out, got to know each other, maybe played icebreaker games. There's a really cool game called Fishbowl, and it's kind of like charades, but a little bit different. I don't know. I would love to do that. So, okay. So, last question, and it just makes sense because this is technically the witch's new year, even though I don't celebrate it as the new year. Um, it's Samhain is among us, and many witches do. So, question 16: what are your witchy goals for the new year? I I think my goal is always to be leveling up, releasing what isn't for the highest good, moving towards purpose. That sounds so cheesy in general. Okay, let me just be specific. I my goal um is to not only serve and help others along their path and expand my healing business, but also, you know, be able to figure out all this YouTube and social media stuff my goal is not to be famous, you guys. If it's not been clear yet, like it's not my goal. Um, but I do know that I'm meant to help people, and you know, you can't help people if they don't know you exist. So I gotta get better at social media and sitting down and creating the content. Scheduling, that is the big deal for me. Scheduling. My goals are to be wonderful at scheduling and to love myself well and to be who I want to be. And, you know, outside of the mystical realms, like, you know, I also do music and, you know, that's mystical too. But um, I want to record an entire new album or like an entire new collection of singles or something. I want to release my album that was supposed to come out a couple years ago. So I'll probably do that in the next month or so. But yeah, those are my goals. I want to live well. I want to love others well. I want to love myself well. I want to find love in general. And I just want to constantly be um, moving towards more pure and authentic version of myself. And you know, we never stop healing, and I'm no exception. And yeah, I want to try to remain as authentic as possible. Um, I also want to go deeper in my spirituality. You know, we never arrive, you guys. So I want to go deeper in my spirituality and begin training some others who are wanting to do some apprentice type work. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But it's been so much fun doing this podcast. I love and adore you guys. I was so excited to see your reaction to the first one. I have a list of fun topics I'm trying to sort through what's the best way to present them. And again, I do have some interviews lined up, so I'm excited to share those with you. But I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. I hope you're smiling. If you're not smiling, I hope you know that whatever you're going through, the night can only last for so long. And the night's actually not bad. Sometimes we just have to go inward and work through some things. But the light is always there. Sometimes we gotta light the flame to remind ourselves. Sometimes we gotta, um, you know, what did Dumbledore say? I'm quoting the movie, by the way, so don't come for me if you've read the books. But I think he says, "Light can be found in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light." I love that. So, um, yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. If you're looking for more information about me, you can contact me at any of my social media. I try to answer all of my messages. Go to Solo.to/ChristianWitchHTX. It has all of my links, all of my social media, booking. The Elysian Academy of Mystical Arts will be having a winter session in January of 2023, and it's going to be lit, you guys. We've expanded the curriculum. It's going to be amazing. I try to make it super affordable for everyone. Yeah, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. I can only take so many people per cycle. So there is a limited amount of seats available. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free to reach out for information. There's no pressure there. Um, and yeah, I don't know what else I was saying, but I hope to see you guys soon. And I love and adore you. If you guys are over at Christian Witch in the Craft, I don't know if I said this in this podcast, but I'm also the associate pastor there. And it's an online private church that nobody can see on Facebook. It's a private group called Christian Witch in the Craft. And we're a group of Christian witches or people who come from Christian backgrounds. You don't have to be Christian. Um, and we have about almost 11,000 members now. So if you're looking for community, feel free to join us there. I also am, you know, my whole point in this podcast is to build community outside of just Facebook. So, um, yeah, follow me on social media. Let's connect there. We'll make it. We'll use the my Instagram and TikTok and all that as kind of like the what do you call it, the common grounds or the agora, the meeting place, the gathering place. um, but yeah. Okay, well, y'all have a wonderful week. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. I think this is going up on November 1st, so happy November, All Saints Day. Is that the right? Did I just get that? I'm all of a sudden I'm very confused. I think it's All Saints Day. And also, if you're hearing this, and I don't know why it's coming to mind, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you feel like you missed out on Halloween or Samhain, Samhain technically doesn't occur until November 7th, astronomically. So you still have time. The spirit is still around, and you technically have access 24/7. So by all means, don't feel discouraged. Sending you guys so much love. I'll talk to you soon. And yeah, until next time. Bye.